everyone. Welcome back to the Growing Grace podcast. On today's episode, I am going to be talking about the reckless love of God. And I have done an episode before. Episode 21 is called The Love of God. However, in this episode, I really wanted to focus on what reckless love meant. That there is a song by Corey Asbury that a lot of people know. It's a very popular worship song, but some people really hate it because they don't understand why he would choose the word reckless to describe God's love. And so I just wanted to dedicate a whole episode on that and explaining where he got the word reckless from. And in order to define that, I want to start off by saying what it doesn't mean. So, it doesn't mean that God's love is reckless in the sense of he's doing something wrong or he's doing something bad. Where when we picture or we think of a reckless person, we're like, oh, that person has no regard for anybody else. They're just doing it just to do it. And they're acting like there's no consequences to their actions. But when it comes to God's love being called reckless, that does not mean that. That everything God does is intentional. It has intent behind it. But the reason it can be described as reckless is because it is something that is undeserved and available to everybody. That to the world, God's love may look reckless. Because if we showed the same type of love that God shows us to everybody on this planet, the world would be a lot better of a place. But also, people would call us reckless and call us stupid because we're opening ourselves up to the possibility of being hurt or to the chance of being used. However, God doesn't care, and he is showing everybody the same amount of love and that same unconditional love because that's how much he cares for us. A definition I found while researching for this episode said, God's love can be defined as it is the overwhelming, unearned pursuit that is completely unconcerned with its own safety or cost, stopping at nothing to relentlessly rescue a lost or wandering soul. And some Bible verses to back all of this up. The first one is in Luke chapter 15, and it is verses 4 through 7, which say, If a man has 100 sheep and one of them gets lost, what will he do? Won't he leave the 99 others in the wilderness and go to search for the one that is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, will he joyfully carry it home on his shoulders? When he arrives, he will call together his friends and neighbors, saying, Rejoice with me, because I have found my lost sheep. In the same way, there is more joy in heaven over one lost sinner who repents and returns to God than over 99 others who are righteous and haven't strayed away. And those verses really just remind us that God's love doesn't stop just because we stop loving him in return. That can be another way it can be viewed as reckless, is because God gives his love to every and anyone, regardless of whether or not it's reciprocated, because we are all his children and he cares for all of us. We are all his creation. And so regardless of our relationship with him, he is going to love us. The next couple verses, or the next verse I have is in Luke again, but is Luke chapter 19, verse 10, where it says, For the Son of Man came to seek and save those who are lost. That no matter who you are, God loves you. That, like I just said, and like I just read in that verse, that God will leave the 99. Jesus will leave the 99 to find the one, because that is the love that he has. That doesn't mean that he doesn't love the 99 that he leaves. He loves them unconditionally as well. But he loves us so much that regardless of where we are at, and regardless of what we reciprocate to him, he is going to keep chasing after us and just giving us that unconditional love. The last verse I have is Romans chapter 5, verse 8, where it says, But God showed his great love for us by sending Christ to die for us while we were still sinners. And all those verses together just remind us, to show us that, I just keep saying it, no matter who we are, God loves us. That is why God's love can be defined as reckless, because no matter what you're doing in life, no matter how much you may even say that you hate God, he loves you the same. And if you haven't watched my other episode on the love of God, I strongly encourage you to look into that as well and to watch that episode, because the love of God is something that we should just stand in awe of, that we're never going to be able to fully explain or describe or understand or comprehend the love that God has for us. But it is so amazing and so reckless because God cares for us so much that when we decide to not follow him, it breaks his heart. But he is willing to open himself up to that because of how much he loves you and desires to have a relationship with you. So my challenge for you all this week is to listen to the song Reckless Love by Corey Asbury and listen to it now knowing what reckless love truly means. Ask God to give you some proof of the reckless love that he has for you and to just talk to him about it. So thank you all so much for watching this episode, and I will see you all next week. Bye!